All right, what's going on, guys? Let's see if this works. It's been a while. I don't know if I'm actually streaming on YouTube or just Twitch or what. I'm using this new streaming software. Don't really know how it works, so we will see how it all goes, I guess. Not much else we can do. All right, so what is going on today? Today I am bringing you guys simple preflop viewer. All right, so it is going to be pretty cool. I'm going to show you how it works as we play a little 5NL session on some ignition zone. So yeah, let's get right into it. Let's go ahead and try to steal this pot. So basically, today's not so much about playing poker. Today is about the simple preflop viewer. Basically, what this does is gives you the ability to play advanced preflop ranges very quickly and very easily. I'm going to give you a couple demos here. For example, if we are in the cutoff and the pot's unopened, this is our raising range here that I've got in. The strategy that I've got built into this program is basically what I would call a minimally exploitative strategy, meaning that it is minimally exploitative and doesn't go much outside of GTO overall, but it sort of is more weighted toward what I think best exploits the pool. So it probably put through a solver would break even against a pure GTO bot. However, because I pushed the strategies to mostly pure strategies, you should exploit the pool with the built-in preflop ranges. Now, what's cool is that you can basically make your own ranges. You can, if you are interested in building like more advanced ranges, you can get in contact with me and possibly sell those ranges on the website. So there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff we can do with this. And right now we are doing I'm doing basically a beta release of the software, and it's 50% off the cost of what it will be in about a week. So in about a week, it's going to cost around $15 a month. And it's going to cost about $15 a month. And the annual subscription will be about $150 a year. So this week, I'm going to stream about an hour and a half a night to kind of promote it. And basically, you're going to be able to get it for a year subscription right now for $99. And that's going to obviously include all the updates that we are planning. So right now, it's pretty smooth software. You are going to be able to see how it works. You're going to be able to see how smooth it is. And yeah, basically, I'm looking forward to some feedback. What was that? I don't know what that is. Oh, nice. Got a follower. Thanks. So I'm still getting used to my current streaming setup. So if I don't catch a follower or something like that, it's because I'm not seeing it. Oh, okay. Dave-O. What's going on, Dave? So I've got a couple of my coaching students should be in the chat tonight, and they've been also helping me beta test this software. So they might be able to answer basically how great and user-friendly it is. I haven't had any close hands, so I haven't been using it. I should probably do that. Basically, what I want to do is show you how simple the software is to use, and yeah, we'll kind of go from there. So you can get any combination of heads up preflop situations. Again, we are going to be updating the software to include cold 4-bets. It does include facing limp. All of that is built in. The default strategy doesn't have a bunch of facing limp ranges, but the functionality is built in. So what I will do is I'll probably build out this range, add in facing limp, add in cold 4-bets, basically add in every functionality that you would need: squeezes, cold 4-bets, and limps. I think that's basically the gambit. And then sell that as sort of a premium set of ranges. So I'm not sure how much those would be. So welcome, anybody who is just jumping in here. I am going to post this on YouTube as well, so we can go cut off unopened. We can see the Jack 5's not going to quite be in there. So I'm waiting till we have a few other users to unveil some of the kind of cooler stuff this thing can do. But we can look at, I mean, you can read it and you can see that we can do facing 2-bet, facing 3-bet, facing 4-bet, facing 5-bet, and facing limp. And you can, one other thing I forgot to mention, it also has an RNG feature in it. So let's say that you wanted to play perfectly balanced GTO ranges, but you didn't want to try and memorize. So we can go MP unopened. We see the 5s are in there. Let's say that you didn't want to memorize your, all of the mixing. You don't want to try to use a spreadsheet. You don't want to use an RNG on your mouse or some sort of auto hotkey script. This basically lets you build it into the ranges. So some of these not all of these default ranges, but some of them, let's say button facing 2-bet from MP, you'll see that every time I click this button, it actually changes. That's because those are mixed strategies. And so you can basically get mixed strategies. Big blind facing a 2-bet from the button, queen 7, we see is a call. All right, so the idea here is that you can play any situation in the game very, very quickly. And that is what kind of separates this from a pre-flop chart or any other sort of, basically anything else that I've seen. This allows you to pull up any range very quickly. And that is why I created it. And that is why I think people are going to enjoy using it. Again, it lets you play any pre-flop range, any strategy with the click of 3 buttons. Another feature that we're going to be adding to it is basically we'll add the ability to look at different big blind defense frequencies. So very advanced players, very advanced strategies, they will have a blind defense for verse a 2-bet, verse 2 times the big blind, verse 2.5 times the big blind, verse 3 times the big blind. And once we get the initial product launch done, I'm going to go into Munker Solver, probably not right away, but once we get the beta released and it's stable, we're going to go into Munker Solver and probably create some of those types of strategies so that you can have sort of advanced blind defense ranges versus different bet sizes and all sorts of fancy stuff like that. Now keep in mind that as complicated as what the program does, it's never going to be more than 3 or 4 clicks. And that's what makes it different than a basically pre-flop chart or hundreds of pre-flop charts. I believe, I would have to double check, but I believe there's like 100 and, let me see if I can look real quick. There's 110 different pre-flop charts basically built into this default strategy. And not only are there 109 maybe, but not only are there 109 grids built in, but those grids also have mixing built in. So again, you can play mixed strategies all within 3 clicks of a button very quickly at the table. It's pretty smooth. Every single person that has used this that I know of, that I've given this to use has like really enjoyed using it. Again, you can hopefully there'll be some guys in the chat that have used it. I have my friend Jeremiah. Some of you guys may know Jeremiah TV. He uses this thing. So the people that have used it have kept using it and have enjoyed it. So I won't be, I'm basically spending all of my time playing poker right now. I'm doing a little bit of coaching. I've got a group session. And yeah, so I'm doing some group coaching like once a week, a couple individual sessions, and then just playing poker and studying poker nonstop. So I don't have a lot of time to stream and to mess around with this stuff. But to me, I mean, streaming is a way to relax. So here we've got basically, we're in the small blind. We're facing a 4-bet from MP. So boom, 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 and we see the ace-queen offsuit is a fold. So, I mean, I'm going kind of slow because I'm trying to walk you guys through this, but you can go very quickly. And I'm going to start showing you guys another feature that... You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to do something that was going to make this a little bit cooler, but that's all right. It'll still work. So small blind unopened, 7-10 off is right in there. And we get it. Hey, how's it going, Original E? Yeah, it has been a minute. It's been a minute. I put out some YouTube videos a little while ago, but it's been a minute since I've been on Twitch. So how come that chat disappeared? Hold on, I don't love that it did that. Chat box, let me see. Shut down when source not visible. Let's try that. I want the chat to stay up there. I'm getting used to this whole Streamlabs OBS deal. Well, not getting used to it. I mean, this is the first time I've ever even seen it. But I figured it would work, so that's what I'm using. Not bad. Not you know, not a bad setup for somebody that's in and out of streaming quite a bit. 8-2 from the cutoff, probably not going to quite make it, huh? I was hoping I was going to do this once we got up to like 15 viewers. It's going to bust out the one more thing towards the end of this. We'll see. I do have sort of a one more thing feature. But we have already a pretty big list of features that we want to add. There's some little things that I want to add. I think it would be cool to have just like a session timer built in. So, you know, that probably won't take my developer very long to make, but basically something that you can click, you can say, you know, set session timer for, you know, hour and a half, 90 minutes, you know, put in the number of minutes you play and then set the timer. And that could just basically help you set the timer and make sure that you're playing distraction-free when you play. So you've got your timer, you've got your preflop program, and you're ready to go. So that's something I'll probably build in. There's a bunch of other features that we're looking at adding. Okay, so mouse is over here. Let's see, 7-9 suited. It's a fold. King 8, we're unopened from MP. King 8 suited. Going to be a raise, but we were facing a raise, so. Cutoff unopened. No. Right now, I basically have some very simple bet sizing stuff in here, some very simple, well, the strategies are not simple. The strategies are actually very advanced. But what is, yeah. So I'm gonna drop the link in there like constantly probably. But you can get a 7-day free trial. However, in 7 days, so 7 days from now, the price is going to go up by 50%. So that much is true. So if you want to get it, and again, it's going to continue being updated. It's going to have logging built in. I'm not sure if the version that's downloadable now has logging built in, but it'll have logging built in. It'll have updates built in so that it'll automatically prompt you for updates. It'll have logging so that we can troubleshoot any bugs. Like I said, this is definitely a beta release. And it's going to continue getting better and better throughout the year, for sure. But already, what it offers is a rock-solid pre-flop strategy that you basically never have to think about again. I mean, as complicated as poker is, the more simple that you can make it, the better you're going to play, right? I mean, that's implied. The more decisions we can eliminate, the better you're going to play. If you don't have to even think about your pre-flop strategy, if you don't have to think about it at all, then you are saving all of that mental energy for much more important decisions that are going to save or make you more money, right? I think everybody knows that, the real money in poker is made on the turn and the river. Those are when the big decisions happen. So if we're constantly trying to stress out about our pre-flop game, we're not going to be as successful. Our decision making is going to suffer, basically. All right, so the other feature I want to talk about is hotkeys. So one thing that I thought about was that if you're playing multiple tables, now keep in mind, I have, and the people that use this software play on 4 tables, 4 to 6 tables. They grind like normal players and are able to get all of the ranges pulled up in time, right? Big blind facing 2-bet from the button, 3-9 suited. We already knew that was going to be a call. However, if you wanted to simplify things even more, then betting half pot here. This seems kind of close, actually, whether we should call or fold. I feel like we probably have to call one. The ace is a card we can fold on the turn. And once he checks back, he's probably fairly capped, but I don't think he's checking back to fold. He might check back like a misdraw or something, but no. So one way to speed things up would be to use hotkeys. So the way the hotkeys in this program work are, I don't know, because of how here we go. They're right here. But because of how I set up the stream, it's not going to show it as part of Simple Preflop Viewer over here on the left. But let me fold and sit out next hand. So what I'm going to do is we can say small blind facing a 2-bet from under the gun. When we release it, we'll get the range we want to play. Obviously, we know 7-10 is not going to be in there. But I'm going to sit out for just a second and show you guys the hotkeys so you understand kind of how they work. Because this is also going to sort of act as a tutorial on the YouTube channel for how this thing works. Basically, there is 9-handed built in. It does not come with a default 9-handed strategy. If somebody has a great default 9-handed strategy that they want to give me, and I can build it into the program and then they can use it in the program, then I'm happy to do that. I eventually will build one, but it is not high on my priority list. Most of the players that watch my YouTube, that watch my stream, are playing six-handed. Eventually, we'll probably do a mobile app for live players, but that's further down the road. So basically, you've got under the gun, middle position, the cutoff is O, the button is T, small blind is S, big blind is B. Unopened, you hit R, 2, 3, 4, 5, self-explanatory, facing limp, self-explanatory. So basically, if I want to see what the under the gun unopened range is, I hit Control R, and then when I release it, it'll populate it. So UR. So Control UR, it populates it. That's the under the gun range. If I want to look for, if I'm in the big blind and I'm facing a bet from the cutoff, I don't even have to look at simple preflop viewer. I can just look at my table and know that I'm in the small, or what did I say, big blind? I'm in the big blind facing a 2-bet from MP, and then I can pull the range. Okay, I guarantee this is probably a mixed strategy. Oh, sorry, it won't let me. So I could do that again. So big blind facing 2-bet from MP. Yeah, so there's some mixed strategies in these mediocre A7s. I'm going to double check those. Those look kind of funny. Anyway. Looks like they're just mixed strategies. Probably has to do with blockers and stuff like that. All right, we'll keep going. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys how the hotkeys worked. It's also possible that I could have just accidentally put the percentages in wrong, so I'll double check those. But yeah, there are mixed strategies, so sometimes ranges won't necessarily look like what you expect. All right, so here we're in the cutoff facing a 2-bet from MP. 7s are going to be a raise. Boom, boom. No problem. Is this... Oh, no, you know what? That's like a whole nother category. It's a great point. And it's very easy for us. I'm speaking a little bit for my developer now, but I'm sure he would say it's easy. It's very easy for us to add in something like antes, right? We could... I mean, the ranges might take a little while to build, but the fact is that you could have a strategy, right? You can select a strategy, and for a 9-handed tournament strategy, right, you could then just have a tournament strategy that's pre-ante and post-ante, so that, you know, if you have multiple tournaments going, you open up 2 preflop viewers, and the ones that are in post-ante, you can use the ante strategy for, and the ones that aren't, you use the pre-ante strategy for. And again, those are either strategies that people can submit and that we can add into the program that way, or that you can, if you build a really advanced strategy and want to sell it on our website, we'll do a profit share with that strategy. So those are some of the options for more advanced stuff. But absolutely, this could be used for tournaments, and it could very, very easily simplify your life in tournaments for pre-ante and post-ante ranges. If any of you have read my most recent Poker Snowy article, I write articles on Poker Snowy's blog sometimes, and I'm currently working on like 4 different articles for them on antes and how antes affect play. So again, any preflop ranges that would make life easier, whether it's sit and goes, tournaments, cash games, live cash games, whatever it is, basically if you can build the strategy in PO Solver, if you can build the ranges in PO Solver or Munker Solver or anything like that, then you can put them into this program. And I eventually will probably take some time and build again, some fairly advanced strategies. I know that some people sell like, 6 max GTO preflop strategies for $1,000, like more than that, 1,000 euros. I doubt I would ever feel comfortable selling stuff for that much, but I could definitely see building a very advanced strategy with multiple blind defense sizes, cold 4-bets, squeezes, facing limps, all of that stuff, and then selling it for, $600 or $700 to work in the program. Maybe not even facing limps. I don't think any, as far as I know, the people that build GTO strategies don't have anything for facing limp because it doesn't get used. However, for a lot of my audience, a lot of the people that follow what I do, facing limp is fairly useful. Now, I built in like some sample facing limps. I think I built them for the small blind. So small blind facing limp from button, cutoff, MP, under the gun. So the button has the facing limp stuff, and then I don't think I made them for the big blind. No, I didn't. So basically, I sort of sampled that you can have a facing limp range, and in the big blind, we would have a facing limp range that has a lot of calling. So I will build those out in the future. I will build out, facing limp for every position because it happens in our games that we play. And so it's nice to have a very solid strategy for handling that. I'm just going to fold here. So here we're MP, we'll go hotkey, so control MP unopened. Boom, A7's obviously going to be a raise. What I was saying is what I want to do is use my mouse software to change one of my side mouse buttons to control, and then I don't have to move my hand around at all. I can just hold the mouse button, hit the buttons. It'll be very, very quick. So that is something that I would recommend doing. Again, we will probably make it so that you can choose what modifier you want to use, but yeah, right now it's in beta. So does anybody have any questions about how it works, what it can do, anything like that? I believe, maybe he can say hi if he's in here, but I believe my developer's in the chat. I'm not sure if he is or not, but I think he was going to try to stop by. So like I said, I wasn't really planning on this being a super focused strategy session. I've already put in about 5 hours of poker today. So I am fairly worn out. Big blind facing a 2-bet from the cutoff. Pocket sixes are going to be a call. But yeah, that's original E. I mean, honestly, that's a really good point. Like the fact is that yeah, we can build out sit and go ranges. We can build out 9-handed ranges. We can build out the spin and go ranges. I'm not an expert on any of those, but I'm sure I can find information and advanced ranges and all sorts of stuff like that. Like I said, or people who have already done the work can sell their ranges on our site and just do a profit split. So if somebody has some really advanced, really strong mixed ranges and they want to sell them on our site, we'll be happy to do that and give them a percentage of the sales. So anybody new in the channel that hasn't ever seen me stream before? Usually like whenever I stream, usually the first 10 or 15 people are people that have seen my stream before and just haven't seen me on in a while. think I've got a whisper from Ballerholic. I don't know when it was. So for whatever reason, the chat is like disappearing. And I'm not sure why, but I kind of wish it would just stay up there so that it was easier to, figure out what's going on. So yeah, guys, my developer's in the stream. So if you guys have questions, software type questions about the program, then feel free to ask because he is here. Got a gutter here, but not sure how much credit I'll get for betting ace jack on this flop. It looks a little brazen. Yeah, so we're done with the hand now. Once we get called on a flop that's this low and this dry, basically, we're done. Especially getting called twice in a multi-way pot. Man, we're getting beat up at 5 no limit. These games are tough. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to focus 100% because I was going to be talking about the software. So if you're wondering why we're playing 5 no limit, that's why. So, yeah, they cut off raise, 8-6 off, not quite. You guys notice my global poker hat? I got that for winning an Eagle Cup event. I don't know if I've mentioned that on any of my stuff. The Eagle Cup was a while ago. This might actually be a little bit outside of our range. Hold on, let me go get. I gotta put this in the background. I need this in the background somewhere, like over my shoulder. Caw-caw, just back there somewhere. Put it right there for now. Keeps me company when I play. Using this viewer for learning. What do you mean? I mean, I don't see how it's any different than a preflop chart, so I don't see any ethical issues with using it while playing. People use preflop charts all the time while playing. So using it for learning or using it for while playing, I don't think. I mean, you learn the ranges while you play because you're memorizing them constantly. Does that answer the question? Big blind facing a 2-bet from the cutoff. Not quite. Plus it was multiple players. New Hendon Mob profile pic? I don't get it. So yeah, we can I noticed a lot of players on Ignition have min raised from every position. I don't know if it's just, well, it's not a zone thing because I've seen it on the regular tables as well. But I don't know if it's a bot thing or what. It seems like there's a lot of bots on Ignition nowadays. I don't think they really do much to prevent bots. So, the min raising and just min betting constantly. Like there are multiple players at the tables that I've seen that just min bet every street, like no matter what. So I'm not really sure what that is. Does anybody know that plays on Ignition what the whole is that? It almost certainly seems like a bot thing. That like somebody went in and found out that basically people overfold to smaller bets, and then they decided, well, if people overfold to smaller bets, we can just min bet 100% and exploit the pool. That would be my guess. I can't be sure, but it sort of makes sense, and I see it a lot. I gotta change this on-stream coaching thing. It is not accurate. For anybody that is interesting, yes, I play full-time. All right, big blind facing 2-bet from the button. King 9 is going to be a call. Sort of I was going to say, this is a decent spot to check raise maybe. But yeah, Inertia X. Yeah, I mean, I remember you from the stream a while ago. But yeah, I play full time. This is my full time gig. But yeah, if anyone is interested in coaching, that's not really why I'm streaming today. But if they are, I've got a group session that I do on Saturdays. That's $35. It's a 2-hour session. You just buy a 4-pack. At $35 each. So whatever 35 times 4 is the cost for 4 sessions. And then you can basically drop in on the Saturdays that you can make. No, that's I was doing a bankroll challenge a while ago on Global Poker. I'll probably pick that up again. I'll pick that up again in a little while, but I've just been too busy with real playing. So I'll pick up the bankroll challenge again at some point, but right now I'm just demoing this software. I wasn't going to do the bankroll challenge on stream. I was going to do the bankroll challenge. I've got the bankroll challenge videos on my YouTube channel. So I was doing I think I started at 5 or 10 no limit over on Global Poker, and working my way up, but it's just not a priority right now. Oh, because I'm demoing the software, and I knew that I would be chatting and not really paying attention. So okay, so we can check this out. Cutoff facing 3-bet, small blind, ace jack's a call. We get check 2. Basically just stab here. Turn the gutter. We'll bet again. It's almost at the point where I just shove, but I can bet fold here, I think. So I will, just bet fold. I also don't really play on Ignition much, so that's the other part of it. I just needed to play. So it doesn't yet. The calling range from the big blind is based on the original opener. So the thing is that when people are calling behind, like, they're more likely to be fish. And so I've kind of generally found small blind facing a 2-bet from the button. Like, we could tighten this up a little bit and fold 7s because he's actually ISOing, but I'm still just going to raise. Basically, what I found, and this is more just exploitatively, is that if there's a bet and a caller, you can tighten up a little bit, but that caller has probably got a pretty weak range. So it might be something that you would adjust on the fly. Big blind facing a 2-bet from, and I'm sure this will be a fold. Small blind facing a 4-bet from the button. 7s is a fold. So yeah, if you looked at big blind facing a 2-bet from MP, and the cutoff had also called, like, yes, you could tighten up a little bit, but you would, you probably wouldn't need to. Especially if the caller is like a weaker player. That is a feature we could definitely add if that was something people really wanted. But to solve for multiple callers also takes a lot more computing power. So that's something to keep in mind. Whoops. My bad. That's why I'm playing small stakes. Because when I'm streaming, I randomly accidentally sit out in spots that I obviously don't want to. For anyone that wasn't here earlier when I was talking about it, this software, I am doing a 1-week sale. So this first week of sales, I'm going to sell it for basically 50% off. At the end of the week, it's going to go up to $15 a month, and it's going to be $150 for 1 year. Right now, if you go to the website, which I can link in the chat, or I will link in the chat. So if you go to the website and buy it today or for the rest of this week, you can get the 7-day free trial, try it out for a couple days. If you enjoy it, if you like it, if you think that it'll help your game, you can go ahead and get the 1 year for $99. And at the end of the week, it's going to go up to $150. So I would recommend, if you get it, you try it out for a couple days and you think it's something you're going to like, as soon as you're a customer as well, what you want as far as features and upgrades and things like that will obviously be weighted much more heavily. So once you're a paying customer, if there's a feature or something that you're looking for, or if you want us to put the ranges you want to play into a strategy, stuff like that, we can obviously discuss more, custom requests and things like that as things progress. So I'll link again the download page so you can download it and get the trial and check it out. I've got a player to act behind. This looks like it's going to be this isn't going to quite be covered because it's going to be, MP facing a 3-bet from the small blind, which will be a call. But because we have this player behind, it's a little more risky. That guy ends up just being dead money, so it works out. I can't imagine we're allowed to fold here. I'm going to check back to realize equity, and then if he checks again on the river, we will bluff. That is a good question for my developer. If he's in the chat, he might be able to answer. I believe right now it might only be available per computer, but I would like to get it to the point where it is a login, and it, where it basically checks it against where basically you log in with the screen name and password in the program, and then it bounces it off your license, and you would be able to have it on like 2 computers. That would be, I think he can probably set it up so that you can have it on 2 computers. So yeah, I'm going to say yes. And if that's not how it is now, we will figure out how to do that, because that's something I know a lot of poker players do. And that would be something, that would be a feature I would want in software that I'm using. So that is something that we will make sure is possible. All right, so we'll just call. Man, it's a little lag. A little bit of lag in the software there. But if we go small blind facing limp from the cutoff, not quite. Oh, these are just the ISO hands. So those are just ISO hands. There'll be some limp hands as well. It's a mixed strategy. So it's not going to be 100%. A couple of them I may have to go back and verify. If you see something that definitely looks wrong, I built all these ranges manually. So there certainly could be something in there that's wrong. There's a few like gaps in here that I'm going to go back and check after the session. But again, it's very easy. If you catch a mistake or you see something in the ranges you don't like, it's fairly easy to edit. It's fairly easy for us to push out updates. Boop, boop, boo. Obviously going to be a fold. Yeah, and as far as specifically Queen 10 suited versus King 6, the King 6 gets used a lot in GTO strategies. For some reason, the Munker Solver 1 is probably a call, right? Button facing 2-bet from under the gun. Yep, call. 8-7 is a call. So yeah, it uses King 6 as like a randomizer bluff a lot, or a randomizer call. So I'm not, it must have something to do with blockers, but I do know that it does that. I don't know about unlimited. Let's not go too crazy. Whoa, this guy's just shipping. I think if I had like A7, I would call, but 7-8, he could just have me outkicked here too much. Well, I mean, you would have to talk to the Munker Solver people about that. It's absolutely used in the Munker Solver GTO massive solve that I did a while ago. So I kept some of the information I learned from that. So if it is a mistake, it's some sort of GTO mistake that, I mean, I'm not sure if you think the solvers are wrong about it, then that's one thing, but most people think the solvers are pretty solid. Now, I would say 2 licenses per person. Basically, people usually have like a laptop and a PC that they play on. So I would say the industry standard on poker software is 2 licenses per person. Otherwise, people just start sharing them with each other. I mean, people do that anyway, but... I think this is a river fold, especially for this sizing. Time is it? So we're gonna go till 9, 7:30 to 9. I'm gonna do an hour and a half every night this week. If you want, maybe, I mean, I could probably play on Global tomorrow. I don't really want to give up my screen name on Global, though. I've basically done a really good job keeping my screen name a secret on Global Poker, and I think I want to keep it that way. I was playing 200 and 400 no limit, like basically all of last year on Global. Well, not all of last year, but the first couple months of this year and the last couple months of last year, and having a lot of success. So I'd have to go in and look. MP unopened. These are what I said at the beginning. You may have missed it, but these are basically minimally exploitative ranges, meaning that they're slightly more aggressive for opening and 3-betting, and they're slightly more passive facing 3-bets. So it will basically fold slightly more often against 3-bets than would be optimal, and it will raise slightly more often unopened than would be optimal. So it's sort of a minimally exploitative strategy. So it's also, so the way I designed it was I designed these preflop ranges as the ranges that I want my students to play, which are going to be more aggressive than GTO. Like, there's no question that a good player up to 200 or 400 no limit on most US sites can open wider than GTO profitably. And in fact, it is more profitable to open wider than GTO because players are making mistakes post-flop. So that's why these are the ranges that I built into the software that I want my students playing, because I think they're going to be more profitable than a strictly GTO set of opening ranges. I will build and sell like a GTO set of ranges, but if you guys know how much those go for, they go for like €1,000. So a full 6-max GTO range set would sell for $1,000 by itself. So I might build one of those at some point in Munker, but for now I'm just sticking to this. So if you guys do end up getting the trial and checking it out, and you have questions or bugs or anything like that, come back tomorrow night and ask those questions. So tomorrow night, same time, from 7:30 to 9, I will go ahead and do a stream, and if possible, I'll have the developer in the chat as well so that he can answer any questions that you might have. What is this, MP? Figured that'd be a fold, but just wanted to check. So, like I said, yeah, if you download it, check out the trial, click around, play with the hotkeys, try things out. If you get it and you want to see what the hotkeys are, you go to File, Hotkeys, and you'll get a little hotkey menu that shows it. You can hold the hotkey menu, up while you're using it to sort of train yourself. But keep in mind, right now, this is going to be changed in the future. But right now, while the hotkey menu is up, you can't actually click in the program. It's just a small fix. It's on the list, but thank you. Appreciate it. I'm sure my developer will enjoy hearing that too. It is very simple. It is very fast, and yeah, it can be as complex as you want. And like I said, if you McDonald, if you've got ranges like super awesome GTO ranges that you want to play, go ahead and hit us up. We can probably charge some small fee to convert them all into the format that needs to go in here, or we can give you the information. Or if you have if I look at it and I think that, yeah, this is a really good 6-max GTO strategy, and it's something we can sell on the site, we can sell it on our site and do a profit split. So the ranges aren't really the point of this demo. It's the functionality in the software. And like I said, the button facing 2-bet from MP, it will have some mixing, and it RNGs every time you click it. So instead of a lot of players playing with a auto hotkey RNG or trying to sort of guesstimate about their ranges. You just get told what to play each time. So appreciate the compliment, man. King Jack off. Again, this is clearly a little wider than optimal. King 10 would be a mixed strategy. King 8 would probably be mixed. Some of these would be mixed. These might, I think a couple of those might be mixed. I'm not sure, but basically I've just got a block solid strategy. The other thing about having non-mixed strategies, there's a couple different opinions, but one thing about having non-mixed preflop ranges is if you are studying how to proceed on flops and turns and rivers and trying to build your strategy, a lot of people, or I've heard people say that basically it's a little bit easier if you've got static preflop ranges. But I think if you've got an easy way to play mixed strategies, it makes sense to play mixed strategies. Great turn. What do we do here? Just call for the boat. Button facing a 2-bet from MP. Queen 6 is a little outside. Unfortunately, right now, I don't even really have a lot of money on US sites. So, you know, I'm not going to play on any of the sites that I regularly play on stream. But I can definitely, I mean, honestly, any of the strategy or the way I play, you know, is basically all going to be the same no matter what the setting is. Or no matter what, you know, where I'm playing, the advice and strategy that I give will likely be the same. Not sure if I love that stab or not. I could check back and try to realize and stab the river, but against a guy who donked, who's probably kind of volatile, I think it makes more sense to just sort of stab the turn and take it away when he shows weakness. So, anybody know how these point things work? I don't know. I added this little widget to below the stream. I guess there's like something where you can donate points, or maybe I can't do that because I'm not like a sponsored. I'm not a like I don't have a donate button. What did I just fold? Anything good? No, I don't know. Is this allowed on PokerStars? This doesn't interact with the tables at all. PokerStars does not know about this software. There's not very many people using this software. The link above the download 7-day trial links to your Streamlab page. Oh, yeah. Let me fix that real quick. Fail. Edit. Yeah. Submit. Okay, that should be fixed. Thank you for the feedback on that. let me give you a link to the correct download. Yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about where I'm playing right now. But I will start, trickling out some content on Ignition and on Global Poker. If I do it on YouTube, I do Global Poker on YouTube because I can black out my screen name when I play there, because I'm keeping my screen name secret for now on Global. And then on Ignition, everybody's anonymous. So, I'll still stream, I'll still do some YouTube videos, but right now I'm spending a lot of time playing full time. So that kind of has to be my priority right now, or that's what I want my priority to be. So cliff notes on the software. Basically, sorry, most of these hands have been pretty easy. Basically what this is this is a piece of software that allows you to play whatever preflop ranges you want. I'm going to click button, I'm going to click unopened, and it's going to give me the exact range of hands that I want to play on the button. So as opposed to using preflop charts, where I've seen different websites that have 20, 30, 40 different grids showing all the different preflop strategies, right? Here we have one grid and a couple button clicks, and you get the correct strategy, or the strategy you want. It comes with a very strong built-in strategy that is what I call minimally exploitative. Basically, it plays slightly more aggressive, and then it folds a little bit to additional aggression. This guy's potting it, but I've got the pair, plus I've got a an ace. So if I had like a weaker, if I had like 4 jack, I would probably fold here. But with the ace, I think it's enough to call heads up. So basically, you can cover almost any preflop situation with 3 clicks. We can look at button facing a 2-bet from MP. We can look at the cutoff facing a 3-bet from the button. We can do the same thing with 4 bets, cutoff 4-bet versus MP. And we can get some, basically, we get a full set of preflop strategies. Now, I mentioned like some websites, some coaching sites, they'll have, preflop charts, and they'll give you 20 or 30 different grids. And it's like, A, are you supposed to memorize those? Are you supposed to use those while you play? Are you going to flip through like, 20 pages of these preflop grids while you're trying to play, trying to figure this stuff out? 2, some of them actually have mixed strategies on them. I've seen ones where there will actually be mixed strategies on the charts. Then it's like, okay, I guess you could just guess, what 25 or 50% is. But realistically, we're not very good at doing that. And then, yeah. So these things will have not, they won't have as much accuracy. They'll be harder to play. So now we're cut off facing a 3-bet from the big. This is going to be a fold, but I just want to show it working. Fold. The other way you can do that, let's just grab something else. But if I wanted to do that using hotkeys, I could do that as well. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind that. I just put in something that doesn't doesn't have a range. From the, what were we? We were cut off facing a 3-bet from the small blind. That's not the program. That's user error. I'm putting in the wrong hotkeys because I'm trying to watch this hand. There we go. And notice when I just did that, I did the cutoff facing 3-bet from small blind. I used the hotkey, and it actually changed because these are slightly mixed strategies. By the way, how's it going, Sherlock? And Rounder for Life, what's going on? Yes, you can enter your own info for each situation. That's either going to be something that I put out like on the site as here's how you build your own ranges, or if there is a set of ranges that you think you have that you want to basically sell on the site, we're also going to kind of make it a marketplace for pre-flop strategies. So if you've got sit and go ranges that you think are, the bee's knees, if you've got spin and go stuff that you want to use or that you want to sell, basically it'll also be sort of a marketplace for high level ranges that use, at least we'll have to come up with something, but it's basically going to have to, it's going to have to use a lot of the features of the program. It can't just be like, oh, I want to sell my RFI ranges. Like I want to sell my raise first in ranges. That's not gonna quite cut it. So yeah, thanks, man. I'm glad you like the program so far. How much is the program? So right now this week, so we're doing basically a beta launch sale this week. I'm going to stream every night this week from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern time, and this is going to be a beta launch sale. Right now the program is $9.99 a month, $99 a year. Next week, after this beta launch sale happens, it's going to go up to $15 a month and $150 a year. And keep in mind that that'll include all of the updates that are upcoming. And yeah, so that includes all of the, any updates that are in the future. We don't really have any plans of launching like a pro version at this point, unless we start putting in some like very advanced features. But I'm not going to do that for a little while. It does have a 9-handed strategy. Like, so if you play 9-handed, then you can, if you play 9-handed, we can build 9-handed strategies. There isn't not a default 9-handed strategy that comes with it because basically those are incredibly complex and take a lot of time to build, and I'm not necessarily an expert at 9-handed. So if somebody has what they think is very close to what a GTO 9-handed strategy would look like, because they're basically impossible to solve for at this point, I'm happy to take a look, and maybe we could sell it on the site. And yeah. But what is basically the most sort of unique feature about this compared to using charts. I'm sorry, I got distracted, but one of the, this is this might be a decent spot to reopen. I don't think he folds a jack. He's probably not folding a jack here if I reopen. If this was an ace, I would reopen, but I don't think I'm going to reopen on the 10. Yeah, I sort of designed it and then hired a developer to do some, to basically develop it. So I basically sort of fumbled my way through a little bit and then hired a developer to polish it up. And he's been running with it ever since, and that was a few months ago. Button unopened. Nope. Anyway, what I was saying is, even if a poker site or a coaching site gives you 40 grids, right? They're like, oh, hey, here's 40 different grids. Memorize these. Try to play them while you're playing. Try to, learn these 40 different grids. Like, good luck. Good luck learning 40 grids. Good luck memorizing 40 grids. Again, this software, this strategy, doesn't even have all the verse limping ranges, and it's already at 109 grids. There's 109 separate PO files that are in here that are populating these grids. So in addition to the fact that you can store basically, I think I did the math at one point, and maybe that was the 9-handed version, but I want to say that you could basically jam somewhere in the ballpark of 200 grids into this thing. I think it's probably around 200 grids in a 6-max strategy, and we haven't even implemented cold 4-bets or squeezes, which are in the pipe. All right, those are going to be updates that we add. Squeezes and cold 4-bets will be added. But even without, any coaching site is going to give you maybe 40 grids. you're not going to be able to memorize them. You're not going to be able to use them while playing because you won't be able to get to the information fast enough. And you won't be able to actually RNG them on your own if there is RNG even in them. So anybody that's looked at an actual GTO strategy or even an exploitative strategy probably should have some mixed strategies, because there's something, the term that's usually used is like board coverage, right? So you want some sort of board coverage in a lot of different spots, and so you'll have different hands, some frequency, and even if you're playing exploitatively, you still want board coverage. So basically, this program allows you to play a lot of grids and any variation of mixed strategy you want. Like I said, because when you're facing 2-bets, it has an RNG built in, so whatever frequencies you put into your call and raise ranges, it will do the RNG for you. So you never have to randomize on your own. You never have to think about it. You just have to put the position you're in, the position, what's happening, what you're facing, and the position it's coming from. Boom, boom, boom. And in addition to that, you can use hotkeys. So, like I said, by tomorrow I will have hooked this up to my mouse, so my mouse is the control modifier. But if we wanted to, my mouse is right here on the table, I can just go button, unopened, and I get my range. Okay, so very quick. If I had my mouse, it would be even quicker. But you hold down the hotkey, you hold control. I hit T for the button. T is the hotkey for the button. R is the hotkey for unopened. So I hit control, TR, release, boom, the range pops up. Very, very quick. Same thing. Control cutoff is O, R, release. King 2 suited, not quite. Very quick. Can you use it while Stars is running? Stars has never heard of this software, so I can't imagine that there'd be any issue with it running while Stars is open. PokerStars has no knowledge of Simple Preflop Viewer's existence, as far as I know, because right now I think we only have 7 or 8 users, maybe 9 users. This is like the first time I've ever publicly talked about this software. So can it run while Stars is running? Absolutely. It is no different than having 40 pages of hand charts. It's just a lot more practical. And Spleaky Poker, thank you for the compliment. Awesome. Happy to hear that you are excited about the software. I honestly have to say, guys, every person that's used it has enjoyed it, right? So like everybody that I've talked to, and maybe the people that don't like it just haven't talked to me. I don't think that's the case, because I think they would give me suggestions on how to make it better. But all the players that have started using this have really enjoyed it. Like they've used it. They like how simple it is. They like how fast it is. And basically anybody that's ever used charts in the past is like, oh my gosh, this is so much better than using charts. People have used Excel, and this is still a step up from using Excel. It's simple, it's compact, it's fast. Man, haven't streamed in a while. Although, like I said, I do 2-hour coaching sessions on Saturdays. I do a group coaching session on Saturdays, and that's basically 2 hours of me talking. And I also do a few hour-long coaching sessions during the week. So I haven't been streaming as much, so I haven't been doing just the running my mouth for an hour and a half or 2 hours type of thing a lot recently, but it's sort of similar to coaching. At least in coaching, I can ask questions and get a break. I'm sure this is like a GTO check back, but just because it's going to get check raised pretty often, and 9-10 isn't great against a check raise, but it obviously would be a call. So guys, the link should be working below the stream to Simple Preflop Viewer. Again, I know that this is getting repetitive for anybody that's been here the whole time, but this is something that you can put your own ranges into. This is something that you can build ranges for and potentially sell if you have some really advanced, really solid GTO ranges that you want, or some sort of super advanced site like let's say you play on, I don't know, what's a European, iPoker or some other, some other site that has like a relatively small player pool, and you have a huge sample of hands, and you've built exploitative iPoker ranges. Like, they're the perfect ranges to play on iPoker. If you've got a really, full, robust strategy for whatever the site is that you play on, and you want to sell those on our site, it's basically going to become a marketplace for advanced ranges. If you are a spin and go expert and you have awesome spin and go pre-flop ranges, same thing. You could sell your awesome pre-flop spin and go ranges in the marketplace that are compatible with the viewer. So in addition to the fact that I'll be building ranges over time and adding to the marketplace of sort of the official Simple Preflop Viewer ranges that can be easily imported and installed, I'm going to also make it possible for other players to input their ranges. You can also just build your own personal ranges, right? If you don't want to share your shit, you don't have to. You can basically, missed my C-bet. You can go in and look at the file names and everything, and you can basically put in whatever you want. Now, I haven't talked to the developer too much about this, but we can either, it's easy enough to figure out. Like, the files that are in this thing are PO files. So if you go and look at the PO files and the naming conventions, you can basically put your own files in. You just have to name them correctly. So we could either put up, the naming conventions on the website so that people can do it themselves, or, sell a strategy creating pack or, something like that. But if you really want to, you could download this today, and by tomorrow you could have basically put in all of your, pre-flop ranges, and have your strategy up and running, without any help from me. So that's completely possible. And I've already had some people do that. They said that, they went in and, took some of the ranges that I had and basically loosened them up, to play wider. But yeah, all they did is they went in, they found the range names that they wanted to change, and then they overwrote those files, and the ranges are then wider. Cutoff facing 3-bet from the big blind. Basically every pair. Oops. That's a good flop. This could be the moment of truth where we finally make some money in this game. I think it has a lot of aces in his range. It kind of feels like we should just jam just in case there's a heart or something that makes him want to get away from it on the river. That's my opinion. I might be wrong. But I don't think he'll ever fold an ace, and he's repping the ace pretty hard. Maybe I should have just kept calling. Damn it. That was dumb. I just couldn't imagine that he was just potting it twice as a bluff. It just seemed like he, 3-bet, hit the ace. I mean, why would he double barrel that board when my call 3-bet range crushes that board just as well as his 3-betting range crushes it? Like, he has so many aces there. Why would he bluff? Makes no sense. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, guys, I'm going to be wrapping the stream up in a few minutes. Again, go ahead, download it. Even if you know you're not going to buy it, you know, do me a solid. You know, download it, give it a try, see how it works, see how you like it, and then, you know, come back tomorrow night and give us some suggestions. I would guess there will probably even be another update out by tomorrow night. Again, I got to talk to my developer. I thought an update was going to be coming out before the stream, but I don't know if that happened or not. So you guys may or may not have, you know, there may be another version that's updated tomorrow. Again, this is like anybody who's used any poker software that, you know, Table Tamer, anything like that. I mean, Table Tamer, it's because of the actual site updates, but basically because this is currently in development, there's updates being pushed out sometimes multiple times per day. And so don't be surprised if there's more updates, but they shouldn't affect, you know, previous versions. I update mine, you know, probably once a day or so, and it just, you know, just keeps getting better and better. So again, if there's anything where you see a range that doesn't make sense or that doesn't appear to be working, or if there's a feature that seems buggy or isn't working, I mean, I've been using it all night and I haven't had any issues with anything. So it's pretty smooth. Like it's working smooth. It's in good shape, and it's only going to get better. So download it, give it a try, see how you like it, and then come back tomorrow night or later in the week and give me some feedback, and then we can adjust as we go. But that'll really help us in developing the software better. That will help us to make sure that we're basically making this software as user-friendly as possible. All right, we're gonna just, I guess the balance thing would be to bet like half pot, but we're gonna hope this guy's a bit of a station. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for tonight. It's 9 o'clock. Tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Same thing. Like I said, download it, give it a shot. Come back tomorrow night, give me some feedback, and we will sort of keep doing this beta test pre-official release sale all week. Like I said, last thing is this week, to get a 1-year subscription is $99. After this week, a 1-year subscription will be $150. So if you download it and you like it and you think it's something that you're going to want to use, I would recommend going ahead and buying the 1-year subscription, because it's going to continue getting updated. It's going to continue improving. And after this week, the price is going to be higher. So that is my, my very self-serving recommendation to all of you. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Hope you enjoyed checking out this new software, and I will see you all tomorrow night. Until next time, guys, keep on grinding.